Let's talk to Rob Schraub about something.
Yes.
Sitting over here languishing. You've been very quiet. It's kind of like
I'm trying to be better.
Is it because you go in the Reddit and you read? Don't go on the Reddit.
I don't have to. Reddit comes to me.
How? In what form?
No, and just I don't know. It's just what.
I always tell people don't go on the Reddit. There's an interesting topic. Like, do you peruse? Do you self-Google? Do you?
I don't usually self-Google. Sometimes you find things randomly just on accident. Somebody reviewed my special and I didn't like it because they I don't care about. I mean, they should let people do what they want. But I didn't like the fact that they were like, I think this guy is a phony, and I think this guy isn't who he says he is, and then they call my son, and then they go, even though I never met him, and then they call my son weird, and then I was like, fuck you, I'm gonna fucking get in your face online.
So
and
they got. I don't want to say they got you or triggered you.
Yeah, they triggered me, and then they were just happy because this was the first time anyone had fucking read their articles. And so I was like, oh, I fucking.
It was an article.
Yeah.
Wait, were they semi-legit?
No, it was some guy. I would say for real. It was Pace Magazine, which is not. I mean, who cares? Exactly. What is it?
Well, we care now.
But I had done interviews and shit with them before, and the main comedy guy had always been cool with. So it that's one reason it triggered me. But I guess that guy went on vacation, and they had an assistant comedy reviewer who was some open micer, and he just fucking was like.
Oh, that answers every question, doesn't it?
Yeah. But he also said that he felt the only good comic was Lisa Lampanelli, which is just a weird thing to say. I love Lisa Lampanelli.
It's a weird thing to say whether you love Lisa or not. Yeah. Because it's like a weird thing to.
Why do you get to review comedy then?
Yeah, and how is that? How is the art of the critic like support that idea of like, well, here's an empirical statement I'll make. Well, then you're not a very good critic, are you?
You're not at all.
You're more of a weird scientist who's like practicing a medicine that doesn't exist.
His whole summary, when he tweeted it out, was like, I reviewed Ron Funches' comedy special, which was okay. I was like, that is not a review. Either it or not like it. Just saying it's okay is just, you're a fucking milquetoast piece of shit. Fuck you. So it triggered me. So to answer your question, yeah, sometimes I look.
But do you... So do you pull back from that as a matter of health?
Yeah, my girlfriend's really good at that. She tries to make me realize how blessed I am and how good I have it, and she's like, these people are just trying to knock you off your course and leave it alone.
Doesn't something feel wrong about that like as a person who wants to hold a microphone and connect with people, that you then, by virtue of your chosen path, that you, in order to do it well, that you're not allowed to do what regular ass people do, which is go on Reddit.
Yeah, that 100%.
Doesn't that seem wrong?
I don't like it at all.
But there's nothing to...
I don't like I always like... I mean, I still occasionally would do it because I just like to remind people that we're human beings. I'm a person just like you. You can't just tell me. You can't just say anything to me. Or you can, you're right, but I will respond to you.
Right.
But then the whole thing, then it becomes stupid because you respond, and then the next thing you know, there's some fucking blog that's like,
right.
Ron Funches is on a tirade. And then the people like, who the fuck is Ron Funches?
God damn. Oh, man. Hey, Sonny, I'm older than you. I've that is the fucking worst. When you're like the Reddit was like, because your inbox, and then you would just go like, hey, what? You just respond and go, human being over here or whatever. And then it was like, oh shit, this did make a really handy click and drag over to look over here to what Dan Harmon said to a fan. And you're like, well, I didn't mean it. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. They just cut one thing out, and then there's everything else is
I don't know what I'm still dealing with this shit. Like, I don't know what.
Yeah, you deleted your shit for a while.
I deleted my Twitter.
Yeah.
I deleted my Twitter the morning.
Why, Dan?
I deleted my Twitter the morning that James Gunn got fired, because the headline was James Gunn gets fired for tweets from 9 years ago, and I was like, nope. I was like, not why I signed up for Twitter, not why I fucking worked for 9 years. And I rode my limo to San Diego to Comic-Con that weekend, archiving all my tweets and then deleting my account.
Baller.
Yeah. And I was so happy. I spent the entire Comic-Con going, people would go like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm fucking good. Like, I just deleted my Twitter account. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I fucking James Gunn thing just like made me go, this is not, I don't want to fucking deal with this and all this shit. And then I came back home and like got on Instagram, and there was an Instagram comment from somebody saying, hey, just letting you know, sure, don't kill the messenger, but everyone's saying that you deleted your Twitter account because you're a pedophile and you did this thing and all this stuff. And then I like found out about this, like, it was like these, like 4chan people, like I deleted my Twitter account. Yes, because James Gunn got fired, so therefore go ahead and link it to, like, yeah, and I did. But it was like, they were like, why did Dan Harmon just deleted his Twitter account? And then someone goes, well, why did he do that? What does he have to hide? LOL. And then someone responded with, maybe this. And then they started pushing it out, and my account was already deleted. So I was like, oh, fuck, what? Okay, what do I do? Phone ringing off the hook, publicists, like lawyers, it's everybody.
Are you a pedophile?
How are we going to deal with this? So, and I was in the back alley of this show. There's a show, I wish I could mark the episode because I came out here because the decision was, it for the first time in my life, and that's why it's just, all this stuff it makes me so sad, because my entire MO was always be as honest as possible. Always be honest. And for the first time in my life, the way to fight dishonesty was to say nothing. Mm-hmm. And it just hurts so bad. And I like came out here, but it was the right decision. After 48 hours of like, you wouldn't believe the fucking calls. Like, hey Dan, it's me, Mike Thompson. I got crisis interventionist Stafford Leah Maffo. He's a bit like people that are like, hey, so listen, here's the thing. Like, does anybody know for sure you're a pedophile? Like, what are you talking about? None of this is real. Like, just let me tell people.
You got any pictures of you not touching kids?
Meanwhile, the 48-hour clock goes by. So the New York Times, the thing that made me lose hope in all of humanity was the day that the New York Times, who had contacted my publicist for a comment about it, they're like, hey, what's going on with this thing? And my publicist said, he's not commenting right now because I'm sitting in my kitchen, like on a speakerphone going like, okay, so what do I do to not get fired by Cartoon Network, AT&T, all this stuff? Like, what are we doing? How do we coordinate? How do I get Cartoon Network to say we support him so that they don't pull a Disney, so that we don't continue this fucking slide? And we're brokering apologies. And I finished brokering one in back appropriately by the fucking dumpster behind this theater, and then came out on this stage and did a show where I said nothing, and it basically said nothing until now. And it was like in the 48 hours where his Twitter account is deleted, and so then it's like the story is like Dan Harmon deletes his Twitter account after video surfaces of him fucking a baby doll 9 years ago in a comedy sketch.
Yeah, I remember this.
And it was like, no, that's not true. Dan Harmon deletes his Twitter account, therefore video surfaces. But how complicated is that story? Well, the New York Times, like that was the point where it's like the New York Times, like just kind of ran with that story, like inherent in the headline, like, Dan Harmon deletes Twitter account after video surfaces, because they got that from Breitbart, but like all of these people, it was like there's this inherent cause effect timeline to it. I'm like, no, Dan Harmon deletes Twitter account because James Gunn got fired for tweeting about fucking kids, and Dan Harmon knows that he's not going to stand up to that test, and Dan Harmon wants nothing to do with Twitter anymore. And once Dan Harmon leaves, it's time to hit that piñata on the way out the door. So Dan Harmon regrets leaving Twitter in the first place because he didn't know that you could shutter your window to fucking Crystal Knocked and have people just kick in your door. Like there's no way to like come out and scream that without making things worse, making things more clickable. And the only way to win that fight, which a fight I never wanted to have, is to be silent.
Yeah,
which is something I've never done.
Wait for the next thing to come along.
Yeah, like it was like, oh, so this is how you living well is best revenge. Just grin and bear it. Don't fuel the fire. Don't kick up dust around it. Your contract's not signed yet. All this stuff. It was like this isn't. Well, then what am I then? Then what age have we entered where honesty is no longer the best policy? Where the people whose names on their accounts on social media are the same as their birth certificate, the people who say what went on with them yesterday for real are like their word is weighed less than hordes of people with fake accounts that just want to, like, if enough dust gets kicked up around you on the internet, you can get fired. I remain to this day, every night I sit in bed playing Cookie Collector and Minecraft and just thinking about it. Yeah. I have no idea where to file it. I don't know how to feel.
People get shot though, so who cares?
I mean, yeah. So I mean, good point. So we've entered an era where I have to go from being happy about being honest to being thankful I'm not shot yet.
Yeah, that's where we are. That's really where we are as a country.
That feels real bad.
It does. My favorite part, though, I know I don't mean to just kind of not be empathetic to what you're going through, because that is horrible, and I've only experienced it in a very small way, and I know how it made me feel and how.
Did you get what are you referring to?
Not just people just talking a lot of trash, and or just particularly when people are like, "You're not who you say you are." I'm just like, I don't know how to prove this or make you think that I am who I am, and so it's just small things. But my favorite part about this story is that there was a moment that you must have had where this James Gunn thing came out, and then you went, "Oh shit, there's a video of me fucking a baby doll."
Now, actually, that was the last thing on my mind. No, I didn't think about that at all. I was surprised. I was like, oh, that video. I was like, God damn, I did a good job mixing that sound.
If we go through Channel 101 stuff, we all committed loads of crimes.
No, I totally forgot about that. I had deleted that video. I shot that video in the community offices. It was 2009. I was like, it's a month after it was on Channel 101. I was like, that needs to come down if I'm going to be in the business that Tina Fey is in. Like, I am a political figure now. I'm visible. I need to not be doing this anymore. I'm not Johnny Rotten anymore. I can't. I took it down, and some admirable fucking like Captain Crunch kept it in their Davy Jones locker for all that time next to their Crunch Berries. What I was thinking was much more appropriately was 9 years of tweets. I wasn't thinking about videos. I was thinking about 9 years of being actively reacting to society in the moment. No way I'm going to hold up to that test.
No, it's
absolutely
joke.
not.
Yeah, none of us really. I mean, maybe me. Who knows?
So I thought, maybe you, I thought briefly about like the idea of going through and like going, this one, no, that one, no, that one. And then it was like, no. Like, that would take 3 years to go through 9 years of tweets and go, oh, this one, no. And I was like, no, the only right thing to do here is like, abscond.
Well, that's been one of the kind of like greatest tricks that's been played in the last few years is the shift of responsibility. Like it was our job to not to necessarily be reckless and again to not be harmful and cause pain, but our job to test boundaries and have fun and to just say whatever reckless thing that we say, and then we're supposed to be checked in by the real people who are in charge. And now it's like the people who are in charge just say whatever the fuck and they lie and they do whatever and no one really checks that, and it's just like, no, we're scrutinized, you know. But by the end of the day, it kind of lets me know that it's all kind of pointless, because like if it really had a power, like then there'd be so many powerful people who have been already, like truly powerful people who would have been taken down by it, you know, like.
I'll give it some time.
Okay, I'll be patient.
I mean, it is pretty easy to get somebody fired right now. We haven't changed that part of our culture
Now, it
yet.
depends on their value, I believe. Like if people, it's just like any sports team. You
Well, a
get
human
cut
being's
if you fucking suck,
value
you know?
should be like, they should not be able to get fired because a bunch of people on Twitter said fire them.
Come on now.
Well, I mean, ideally, I'm
Yeah,
not talking about
ideally,
what's
yeah.
reality. I'm saying like what your mailman shouldn't get fired because he tweets something that goes viral. That I just in an ideal universe that shouldn't be the case.
There's so many things like where you can go with that though, because then by that stance, if a cop that's like a racist cop known to tweet out racist things, should they be held accountable for that?
I mean that's dumb applause.
They say
no,
yes.
I'm kidding. No, I mean, a cop is like, yeah, it's like bring it back to mailman so I can control this. But I mean, we talked about, did you, like the weatherman, I made the joke, the weatherman that stumbled over Martin Luther King's name. Were you cognizant of that?
No.
And I was like, oh, you didn't know about that? It was like there was actually two separate guys. It was like he tried to say Martin Luther King's name because he was saying like, by the way, there's a celebration in this park or whatever. He said Coon instead of King, like while he was saying the name, and it went viral. And the weatherman lost his job. And I'm like, is that how we find out people are racist? And then I made the joke of like, isn't that the one job where you could safely be racist?
As a weatherman?
Yeah.
That
Because like, what are you
going to
do?
You're not in charge of nothing. Yeah.
Like, are you gonna not tell Mexican people it's raining? Like, just... See, I can still do stand up if I.
The white weather's okay. 78 degrees again.
But I mean, obviously, yeah. There's like great. It's like we want our cops to not be racist. Obviously, that's a truism. Therefore, if a cop in his private life is on social media and reflects racism on his Facebook page with some post or even a retweet, then it's rough.
It's just a slippery slope. We're dealing with new problems. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I hope it stays fun. I don't want to live in a world where the people that are in control of who profits, who's plugged into the hive mind and who's excommunicated, where I worry about buying a ticket to this ride where we've already seen, I feel like, the nefarious among us, let's call them right-wing people who are nihilistic a little bit about politics and ideology and the way that we interact with media, that they can actually hack, as it were, the leftist mindset by, for instance, saying, hey, what if I were to tell you that this person, by your definitions, is technically this or that? Wouldn't you want them to then, by your own rules, suffer or divide or compartmentalize? And they're enjoying that right now. And it's really distressing to watch them winning. Yeah. So what? And I guess I can predict what you're going to say is, yeah, it's fun.
No, that's not fun.
Okay, I predicted wrong.
Yeah, no, that's not fun. I mean, there's lessons to be learned, and just that, like, and overcoming that, and I think overall, like, it gets so complicated when you break it down into like all that type of stuff, where it's right wing and social media. But at the end of the day, it's all about separatism. It's all about trying to separate people from so that they just stay in these little boxes, so that a small amount of people can screw the rest of us over. So if you're just like, whether I'm going like, oh, I don't trust you because you're an old white man, or you don't trust me because I'm black, or women doesn't feel safe around anyone, then like, that's just keeping us all separate, and that's all allowing us to be taken advantage of. It's through unity and through equality and through diversity that we are able to fight those things, and then you can be like, well, I wouldn't believe those things about that person, you know.
And maybe the best way to prove for ourselves, if you could call it a battle between those two sides, the best way to prepare for that battle is for the individual to have a Funchian kind of like, I'm probably not going to judge this person like so much. If we don't get caught up in the timber, chop down this tree, I heard that this thing is happening, so let's off with their head.
Oh yeah, no, I hate that. I've never been in the business of throwing people away or calling people monsters. I think that's another tool to separate people. We're all capable of horrible choices and horrible decisions, and you have to have. And I'm not saying that you excuse someone's actions or excuse what they've done, but to act as if you're better or you're different.
To grab that ticket, isn't that kind of like, not to I'm doing a writer habit here. I'm trying to connect it to the beginning. Mm-hmm. That guy in that park when you're having your epiphany, who's being abusive to his charges, who's going like, you fucking people, I'm like, that guy felt licensed to be abusive to his mental health flock, because he felt like, oh, I've got the high ground here.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to be tempted in that direction. Like, we're always going to be told as primates by Twitter, by Newsweek, by this ringing thing in our pocket, we're going to constantly being told, hey, there's somebody out there that's worse than you that you could punch down on right now if you take this opportunity. And
or
it's going to be
that
about
there's someone
like,
out there trying to take what you have or trying to stop you from getting your goals. And at the end of the day, like, you meet so many people that you're like, we all have the same goals. We all just kind of want the same shit no matter what. We all just want to be happier and make a little bit more money and have more time with our fucking family and do vacations and shit and work less.
We all just want a pool.
Yeah.
And
I
like
want
maybe
pool.
one more bedroom.
Yeah. I love one more bedroom, because then I could maybe get DJ equipment that I won't use.
There should be a political party where the chant is one more bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a one-bedroom apartment, don't you want one more bedroom? Yes, you do. If you have a 6-bedroom mansion, wouldn't you like to have 7 bedrooms? Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Yeah, everybody want a little bit more.